Hi, I'm Mila D'Antonio, Editor-in-Chief at One-to-One Media, and today I'm speaking with Denis Pombriant, Senior Analyst at Beagle Research, and Brent Leary, Partner at CRM Essentials. Today we're talking about the state of customer experience. So what's on your radar at the moment? What has you excited about customer experience right now? Denis, do you want to start?
Okay, well, in line with customer experience is customer engagement, and I've been spending a lot of time researching and writing about engagement as a precursor to loyalty, and I've consolidated my findings in a book that'll be out next month.
Brent?
Yeah, there's so much going on in so many facets, but I think one of the more interesting parts of customer experience is really how this whole Internet of Things is kind of being integrated into changing what customers expect in their experiences. So I think we're hearing a lot about that here at the SaaS Global Forum. Looking forward to hearing more.
Definitely. Can you give an example of how you believe IoT is going to change the customer experience for companies?
Yeah, when you think about how we're using these mobile devices more and more throughout our life, we're actually living more of our lives through these mobile devices, and there's so much information that is being collected and used from that. It provides a lot of opportunities to improve the experiences that we have while using these devices. So I think it's the mobile devices, it's like Amazon Echo and how at least I'm using that a lot more throughout the home. And all these things are providing opportunities for companies to provide us better experiences. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually leverage all this technology to provide the kind of experiences that we're looking for.
You mentioned mobile. One-on-One Media conducted a survey last week to see how consumers are using digital, and I was surprised that the majority said they were using mobile to interact with the brands. And so, do you think that the mobile trend has gotten away from marketers, or are they adequately equipped to interact with customers in that channel right now?
Yes, no.
Go ahead.
Well, I think it boils down to four essential points. We talk a lot about the automation, and that's certainly one of them. The other things that go directly to customer experience and customer engagement are proactive personalization, contextual innovation, and journey mapping. And the two in the middle, personalization and context, are things that the marketers need to be right on top of, because these are things that you don't do purely with technology. They have to be ideas that come out of a marketer's mind. So, for example, automation is going to be part of almost anything we do. We talk about mobile, all well and good. In my research, I've found some very big examples that sort of prove the point. One of which is the Starbucks mobile application. Yes, it's technology, but what it does is it enables a Starbucks customer to personalize the interaction and adjust the context of the order and the consumption so that they can have a truly unique experience, which is what we're after for customers. And there are plenty of other examples. So with this IoT evolution, what I'm seeing is that the availability of the technology is spawning all kinds of new processes that we haven't thought about. The supply of the technology is creating its own demand.
That's interesting. What is your take on it?
I think that in a lot of instances, the way that IoT could go could be kind of explained in how technology has been applied over decades. A lot of companies look at technology as kind of like the Hail Mary. If we can use this, it'll save everything that we do. But then when they get it and they start to use it, they didn't really take the time up front to really understand how they could use it, the best ways they could use it, and how they could apply it to create better experiences for their customers. A lot of times they use it thinking about how can they create better experiences for the company itself. And so it's a big problem. It's not the technology's problem, it's the way that companies look at the technology to solve their issues as opposed to solving experiences that customers want. So if it goes down the traditional way of how companies adopt technology, we're going to be in for a rocky road. And customers aren't going to give you as much leeway as they have in the past because they're used to having a little bit more say in how things go. So companies that are smart about it are going to really look at it from the standpoint of how can we create better experiences, not just from a transactional standpoint, but from the overall, how do we make our customers happier? Sometimes it's not a direct transactional relationship, but if we're making better experiences, they're going to be happier, and they should stay with us longer. So if they take that approach, I think we'll see a lot more wins and a lot less bumps along the way.
You know, one of the key reasons that IoT will be successful in transforming customer experiences is because of the way it will leverage personal data. And we're here at SAS GF, data is a big topic. How do you believe that the data is, you know, playing a role in evolving the customer experience?
Well, data's just data. We need to cultivate it into information, which is what SAS is really all about. And taking that information and loading it into human brains so that they can administer, manage, create better business processes for their customers. You know, let me give you a quick anecdote. There was an article in Harvard Business Review not too long ago about companies that were using mobile technology to encourage their customers to advocate for them in the marketplace. Just technology, advocate for me. Because these companies knew that advocacy was a sure sign of customer loyalty. But only 15% of those companies actually tried to engage their customers in some activity that made the brand sticky. And they discovered that the program was a phenomenal failure because the customers felt like they were being dictated to. So, you know, when you get into data is very important. How we use it, even more important. Let's maintain our creativity.
Definitely. Brent?
Yeah, I keep getting stuck on this whole idea of companies are looking for ways to create more loyalty from their customer base, and they're also looking for ways to, let's be honest about it, get more money out of their customer base. And if they're smart about how they go about this, they can do both. But the focus has to be on the customer experience, not on the end result, which is the transactions that come out of it. So if they actually think about how can we improve the ways that we service our customers, provide experiences from marketing to sales to customer service, and also value them beyond just the transaction. So listen to them, like Deniss was saying. Listen to the things that they can offer to provide more insight into how you can make this product or service better. Because if you listen to them and you put into place some of the things that they're talking about, they're gonna buy it because they have say in it. So you're valuing them for more than a transaction. So that customer experience thing goes a long way if you look at it the right way.
Can you think of one company right now that's doing all that you described, listening to them and putting all that in motion?
Sure. Lots of companies. You'll like this. There's a small headphone company called Soul Republic. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, but I like the name.
Yeah, we just interviewed them, I believe.
Okay.
They're doing great things.
Kevin Lee?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, hey, Kevin. Cool company. They decided that they weren't going to be just another headphone company. They were going to engage their customers as a lifestyle brand. And so they're always looking for ways to reach out to their customers, get them to come to shows and participate in building the brand, building innovative products, even getting customers to participate in communities and just to trade ideas about music. And I think that's where we're headed in a lot of different areas, whether it's Soul Republic or, I did a study of Hilton Hotels with their new app enabling customers to check in without going to the front desk, enabling them to download the signal that you need for your room key to your phone, so you can get into your phone or get into your room.
I like that.
They're logging in over 1 million customers per month across their hotel franchises through the app. People don't go to the front desk.
Are those in beta properties or across?
No, it's across the whole organization. Yeah. What's really cool about it, I think, is that it puts more control in the hands of the customer. It gives the customer that ability to proactively personalize their own context.
Definitely. I'd like to experience that firsthand.
You can download it for free. I do not work for Hilton.
Brent, what company comes top of mind for you?
I'm going to go back to Amazon. I've been using the Echo for a year and a half, and what's cool about it is at first it didn't really do a whole lot for me. I mean, you would ask it, what's the weather like, and some of the things like that. But every week they seem to be coming out with these more and more things you can do with it. So you can order a Domino's pizza if you want. You can do an Uber ride by saying, "Hey Alexa, get me an Uber." You can integration with Fitbit, so you can ask it, how many steps do I have, and how many do I need before I hit my mark for the day. So more and more of these things, once again, goes back to the life experience over the transactional. They add things that, in the end, make my life happier without me spending any more additional money, but it also allows me to stay an Amazon Prime person for longer. So by focusing those, growing those experiences beyond just the transactional value, they allow me to stay a customer longer and use things more fully, and they get more information on me.
And that's a great example of the win-win that subscription culture companies are dying to find.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Amazon makes it too easy for me to purchase some days, but Echo is a bot, really. Facebook Messenger just launched the
Chat
Messenger bot.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that, and how you envision that changing the customer experience?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I said earlier is the supply creates its own demand. I mean, that's an old idea, but it's never been more true with some of the technologies that are coming out. So I'm very excited to see how people are going to start using it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm a bit dubious on it, because I think the first people who start to use it are going to be the what's in it for me companies, instead of how do we really use this to build better human interactions on behalf of our customers.
You're saying it might be more used as efficiency gains?
Yeah, I think that's the first initial impulse of a lot of companies is, how do we use this to drive more transactions, or how do we use this to do that?
Sure, that's always the hype cycle.
Yeah, but eventually, hopefully, there are going to be folks who are actually going to use it from the more customer perspective, and they'll see the biggest benefit, and then hopefully more and more folks will understand if you do things for the customers, with the customer in mind, still wanting to create value for yourself, but with the customer in mind, overall you'll have a win-win, as opposed to just trying to find out what I can get out of it more than anything else.
It should be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
So in wrapping up, what are the top, say, 2 trends that you predict we'll see in customer experience over the coming year?
Boy, if I knew that.
Right.
Yeah, really.
I would say, well, from my parochial view, I think customer loyalty has a long way to go. So that would be one. I think there's going to be increased emphasis on loyalty, simply because so many enterprises are now picking up on the technology, and enterprises tend to have fairly stable customer bases, either because of high walled gardens or customer inertia. So I think customer loyalty is going to be very important, because vendors have to increasingly show a way to their customers to get more value, and that's the big one for me. Yeah. Everything else is number 2.
Brent?
I would say that connected companies aren't necessarily customer-centric companies. I think we're going to see a lot of folks who are going to provide these connected offerings, connected cars, connected services of all sorts. But once again, they're going to have the technology be out in front of the actual processes and experiences that could create happy customers. I think we're going to go through that cycle. There are going to be some that are going to do it right, but I'm kind of skeptical, because we've seen over the years how technology is, the hype cycle. People rush into it, and they rush into it without really thinking fully how they can apply it and leverage it to create the best kind of experiences, and not just one and done experiences, but experiences over the life cycle. So
Maybe what we should try to investigate is whether this hypocycle is any shorter than previous hypocycles. Maybe people get it faster.
I think it'll be shorter because customers are going to make it shorter. Customers are going to say they're going to find the winners and they're going to find the losers. And you can't be a loser for very long or you'll be out of business.
True.
So.
True that.
Well, that's a good place to end. So thanks to both of you for speaking with me today. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much.